Welcome back, Beaver Nation, to another season with us for the Beaver Sports Show. We're going to kick it off right now with Michael Stewart and Brett Bryant for the women's soccer.
This past Sunday, Oregon State's women's soccer team would take on number 11 Utah right here in Corvallis at Paul Lorenz Field.
Our Beavers ended the match with 14 shot attempts and 9 corner kicks.
Despite our strong offensive efforts, the Beavs were still unable to overcome Utah's defense with a 2-0 loss.
Starting in goal for the Beavers was true freshman Bella Geis.
Utah would end the match with a second and final goal by Jill Robinson in the 62nd minute of play, ending the match Utah 2, Beavers 0.
Although a loss for the Beavers, head coach Linus Rhodes stated that he was excited with the way his girls played and how many shots they took on goal.
Linus would also state that although true freshman Bella Geis was indeed a freshman, if her efforts continued, she would have a strong career path ahead of her.
We were able to grab true freshman Bella Geist after the game so she could deliver her thoughts on the match. Let's see what she had to say.
Michael Stewart here with Beaver Sports Show. I'm with Bella Geist, the goalie for Oregon State's women's soccer. How did you do today in today's game?
I feel like we played really well as a team. Looking at the scoreboard, this is one of the first times we've outshot the other team, and although we gave up 2 goals, I don't think it reflected how we played.
Speaking on reflections, how are you reflecting on this game, and what do you look to do better next game to pull that win for the Beavers?
I think in terms of offense, those are the best opportunities we had at scoring. So I think it's a matter of keeping that up rather than looking to do something different. I think we need to put our defense together, but offensively we did everything right and did everything we could this game.
Sunday afternoon was a beautiful day for a soccer match. Number 23 Oregon State hosted number 1 University of Washington. The Beavers started off the game with very aggressive play. This aggressive play deemed unsuccessful in the first half, as both teams ended the first half with 0 points. Along with the aggressive play, many fouls were given to both teams. A total of 41 fouls were given between the Beavers and the Huskies. 1 red card and 2 yellow cards were given to the Huskies as well. Towards the end of the second half, University of Washington's Henry Wingo scored off a rebound in the 63rd minute. Things looked pretty bleak for Oregon State, but Jordan Jones answered the Huskies' goal with a header of his own off the assist from Will Seymour in the 72nd minute. Neither team scored in the end of regulation or both overtimes. The game ended with a tie of 1-1. Now, this may have been a tie, but it was a moral victory for the Beavers, proving that they can hang with the best of the teams. The Beavers sit at 8-3-1 as of right now.
Now we're going to actually start with a new game on the sports show called #that. So we're going to have 3 situations, and these 2 are going to come up with their own hashtags for the situation. So starting it off, Coach Kyle Winningham of the Utah Utes says he won't say who the starting quarterback for this Thursday is, saying, "It's just an or situation right now. There's no reason to tip our hand. It doesn't accomplish anything for us. And if it doesn't accomplish anything for us, why would we do it?" So #that. Josh, start it off.
This is what Kyle Winningham is thinking. Hashtag, can we have Sean Mannion? Because really, you can't beat Sean Mannion.
True. Dropped it like that.
Okay.
All right, Jake.
Well, I think going through the coach's head is #Yopo. You only play once. So, it's the great controversy. Wilson, Thompson, I think either quarterback, both quarterbacks are scrambling quarterbacks in the pocket. They have the same style of play. I think they're going with Thompson for sure, but I think it's not going to affect the Beavers.
#Yopo.
Yopo, you only play once. It doesn't matter. Yopo.
Oh, man. Honestly, I got to give it to the Yopo.
Get that training. #Yopo.
#Yopo.
Yopo.
So, situation number 2. DeMarco Murray is on fire right now with 785 passing yards, 6 touchdowns this season. Give a hashtag for his performance thus far this season. Josh?
DeMarco Murray is my starting running back on my fantasy team. #DeMarco Scurry, because that's all he does.
Yep.
Although I will admit he fumbles way too much. But DeMarco Scurry, #that.
Perfect, Jake. Let's
I
hear
will
it.
second that, Josh. I passed up on DeMarco in the fantasy draft, so little salty about that. But I'm gonna go hashtag ride the horse. Because you know Cowboys, he's riding that horse. He's speedy.
There wasn't much backup for that, so I give it to DeMarco Scurry for the win. Sorry,
He still
Jake.
rides the horse, though.
Riding that
Marco
horse.
Scurry, baby.
DeMarco Scurry. All right, situation number 3. As we all know, Kevin Durant is out for 6 to 8 weeks, most likely missing at least the first month of the season. Everyone's saying it's now Russell Westbrook's time to shine. Give a hashtag for what Westbrook is thinking that Kevin Durant's out.
All right, so Kevin Durant out 6 to 8 weeks. Huge blow for Oklahoma City. Pretty much any basketball fan knows Russell Westbrook's the only remaining star on that. I mean, they got some supporting roles. So if any of you guys have seen the movie Captain Phillips, I'm gonna go the great Somalian pirate Muse. I'm the captain now.
I like that little boat.
And I drew a boat
That's
because
Yeah.
Kevin Durant fell into the water metaphorically, and Russell Westbrook's gonna take whatever you steer a ship with.
Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that accent?
Somalia.
Straight from
I
Somalia.
was on the ship with Muse.
That is nice.
Great. Russell Westbrook didn't pass to Kevin Durant even when he was healthy and the best player in the league. Westbrook is licking his chops right now. Hashtag, I didn't pass to him anyways. Because that's what Russell Westbrook did, even when Kevin Durant was healthy.
Even in the playoffs.
Even in
Even
the
saw how it
playoffs.
works.
Honestly, I gotta give this one to Josh.
Let's go.
Good movie reference, but he did not pass it to him anyway.
I'll take it next week.
Next week.
Hashtag bright ties coverage.
Perfect.
Classic
Bright
red.
ties.
All right,
hashtag.
so that's it for hashtag that. Now here's Amber Weber with your Pac-12 update.
Thanks, guys. This week in Pac-12 news, the Cougars' offense fell short, leaving Stanford with a win of 34-17. Bouncing back from a shocking loss the week before, the Ducks pulled out a win of 42-30 against UCLA. The Ducks sophomore running back Thomas Tyner added to the win, rushing for 58 yards. Over at Berkeley, the Huskies stomped out Cal with quarterback Siler Miller, throwing for 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Huskies left with a win of 31-7. And Arizona was left stunned after Casey Scouron missed a 36-yard field goal, allowing USC to take home the win at 28-26. This leaves the rankings in the North and the South divisions pretty close. Oregon and Stanford sit at the top of the North Division, being 2-1 in conference games, and USC is at the top of the South Division, with Arizona and Arizona State falling closely behind. And that wraps up your Pac-12 updates.
So this Thursday, right here at Research Stadium, our Beavers are taking on the Utah Utes at 7 p.m. All right, I gotta ask you guys, who do you think the impact player will be for this game for Oregon State?
Impact player. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to the offensive line for Oregon State. But if that holds up as we've been holding up, I don't know, the split production by the backs, I'm going to have to go Stormwood / Teron, Teron Ward, Stormwoods. Combined like 134 yards the last 2 games. I don't know. If the offensive line holds up, I'm going the run game for sure.
I'm going similar thread, different player. Sean Harlow,
Okay.
the offensive tackle, is going to be the key to the game. He might switch from right tackle to left tackle, switch with Gavin Andrews. They're trying to match up against Utah defensive end Nate Orchard, who's one of the best defensive players in the Pac-12, if not the nation. And the Beavers have to contain him with the offensive line and have the backs chip in. Stormwoods has to be able to block and not just tote the ball.
Agreed. And what do you guys think what are your predictions for this game?
I say low scoring. I think Sean Mayden's going to get sacked 6 times. I think the Beaver D is going to contain Utah. The Ute wide receiving core has been disappointing this season for Utah, so I'm thinking neither team is going to get past 30, 35 points. Maybe a 28-24 final in favor of Utah is my prediction.
So I'm gonna go a little bit higher scoring than that. I think with the way Booker's been playing, he's averaged 102 rushing yards a game, over 334 in the last 2 games. Again, all depends on the defensive line. I'm gonna go high 30s, 38, 35 maybe. I'm gonna give it to the Beavs, containing Booker. Offensive line, I think Sean's gonna have a good game, but they have great pass coverage too. So
I can't argue when you pick the Beavs. I can't go.
Of course.
I can't
Can't go
blame.
wrong
I
with
can't
that.
blame you for that.
Josh,
Exactly.
what are your key components for this game?
Well, Utah has the quarterback controversy. That's what everyone's talking about. Is it going to be
Right.
Travis Wilson? Is it going to be Kendall Thompson? To me, it doesn't matter. What matters is the Beavers stopping the run game. Utah runs the ball almost 70% of the time. They didn't even pass the ball that much in the first place, so who plays at quarterback doesn't even matter. Introducing a new segment this week, call it To the Video Board with Josh Worden. We're going to go over a play from earlier this season in which Oregon State did something that they also need to do against Utah. Let's go all the way back to the Beavers' first game of the season against Portland State. The Vikings have the ball on a 2nd and 10 in the first half, and the Beavers are in a nickel formation with only 2 linebackers and 5 defensive backs. Both cornerbacks, Steven Nelson on the near side and Larry Scott up top, are going to drop back into coverage. Tyreek Zimmerman, the safety, is going to shade up front and cover closer to the line of scrimmage. The Beavers are ready for the pass here, but the Vikings are going to run the ball. The Beavers, however, have safety Ryan Murphy playing up near the line of scrimmage. Look at his helmet. You can see him looking into the backfield, ready for a handoff. Now here's the snap, and Murphy is ready to seal off the right side of the line. Problem is, the Vikings run to the left side. So now you got Portland State attacking the weakest part of the Beavers' defense, and they designed the perfect play call for it. Look at how there are 2 offensive linemen pulling to the far sideline. That's the center and the right guard. They both released from their positions and are ready to open up a hole to the left. They're going to block Beaver defensive end Levante Barnett and linebacker Jabrell Johnson. The Vikings set up the play well, and the running back has some space with teammates in front of him. Everything looks great for Portland State, but watch what happens next. That's Justin Strong, a freshman safety, streaking in to make the tackle for only a 1-yard gain. Now, back it up. Look where he starts this play. He's standing behind the 40-yard line. He reads the handoff and makes the stop inside the 30. He takes a bit of a sharp angle, but that pushes the back to the sideline, and Strong even cleans up the play himself. Keep in mind that this is his 2nd career tackle. Here's Justin himself talking about that very play.
I'm looking into the backfield. You know, we got our keys to read from the tackle guard to the backfield. So I see run action, and I kind of lose the running back for a second, but I'm that leverage player, so I just get downhill real fast, and then first thing I pop outside of me, I'm making a tackle. And then when I seen it pop up, I went out, I took my shot, and then made the tackle.
Coaches talk to you about that play? Did anybody congratulate you?
Yeah, I was supposed to be on the other side, but, you know, I made the play. So, yeah, no, I didn't get too much face for it.
How about that? Justin Strong, supposed to be on the wrong side of the field, but he still comes in and makes the tackle on that play. The redshirt freshman safety playing a big factor in the OSU secondary this year.
And what do you guys expect out of Sean Mannion's performance, especially after those last couple games? He wasn't really up to par with how he usually is. How do you think he'll play in this game?
I'd say he gets, on the plus side, I think he gets about 200 yards, and I'd say that's a good thing if he gets 200 yards or less, because that means that the Beavers are trying to run the ball. Yeah, I bet he gets sacked 6 times if the Beavers are trying to throw the ball 2 or 3 times every series. If he gets sacked 6 times, the Beavers aren't gonna win this game, and Utah is the leading team in the nation in terms of sacks.
Now I'm gonna say 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games is nowhere near the start that we had last year. So the passing game is not where we want it to be, but I think it's getting there. That's a good. You know, we've had the wide receiver injuries with Worden, and you know, I don't know. I'm gonna go passing game is gonna be strong, but I think we're gonna rely heavy on the run game. I'm gonna go, like you said, about 200, 250 yards. He's gonna get sacked. He's gonna get hit a lot, but I think we're gonna pull it. I think he's gonna have a great performance.
An OSU wide receiver has not caught a touchdown pass in the last 205 minutes of game time. The Beavers can't rely on the wide receiving core to put up numbers like Brandon Cooks. It has to be a joint effort.
It's a different game. It's a different changing.
Yeah. All right, and I guess we will see you tomorrow night. And that's it, Beaver Nation, for tonight. Don't forget to catch the game tomorrow, 7 p.m. against the Utah Utes here at Reser Stadium. Have a good night. #BSS.